All right, the last of the early games, Giants at the Redskins. This line open up, Redskins -3.5. It's down to 3. I guess people are impressed by what they saw Monday night. So who do you like here?
I mean, they should be a little bit impressed with how the Giants play, but Washington's still the right side here, especially if we're getting -3. I think what you saw for the Giants Bucs games was the Giants got pumped up to play in primetime against a really good team. And Tom Brady has this just unstoppable mental block about playing the Giants that I cannot explain. I've tried to figure it out over the years. There's just nothing there. But like every time it's like, oh, they're suddenly losing and some weird plays happen. And Daniel Jones looked good. I will give him that at times, but he also still made some crushing mistakes. And now he's going to have to play Washington and Ron Rivera, who had extra time to prepare for this one. I do think that matters for Rivera because he's a very good motivator. And there's a revenge game angle for this one because Washington nearly beat New York last time they played. It was a 1-point game decided by a failed 2-point conversion. And Washington has a chance to compete in this division. If they win this game, they're going to be right up there near the top with the Eagles. And they have like a pretty favorable stretch coming up because I think they're playing Giants, Bengals, and Lions the next 3 weeks in no particular order. And the Giants are banged up at running back. Daniel Jones is inconsistent. And Washington has a good defense. They're going to be able to get pressure on Jones and force him into mistakes. And that's really the big difference makers. You got Chase Young and Montez Sweat chasing after him. They limited them to 13 offensive points last time. If not for Kyle Allen having a really bad fumble return for a touchdown, Washington probably wins that game the last time they played. So if Kyle Allen can avoid turnovers and continue to move the ball down the field, I think Washington could win this one. Maybe not handily, but they could take a lead that they don't relinquish. So I'll be on Washington for a couple of units here. I like them in this revenge game and I don't think they're going to lose to the Giants twice either. I don't think it's a year where the Giants are going to beat anyone twice.
That's true. I'm glad you brought up that first game. The Giants won that 120-19. But did you know that the Redskins in that game outgained the Giants 357 and 240? They really dominated that game. It was just those 2 turnovers, the interception and the fumble return for a touchdown. The Giants scored 14 points off those 2 turnovers. So really, they only scored 6 points in that game. And I think that Washington's front against the Giants offensive line is the big mismatch in this game. The Giants, I think, had the worst offensive line in the NFL. They look better on Monday night, which gives me a little bit of a concern. It's like they had some time off after the Eagles game. So it's like, did they figure something out? Like, that is a slight possibility, but I'm going to guess, like, my take on it is I think the Buccaneers, as you hinted before, kind of were looking ahead to the Saints game. And I think that, I think the Giants are going to look worse, coming off that loss. Like they put a lot into that Buccaneers game, and they came out, they almost won. They had the lead after every quarter, except for the last one. And I think that heartbreaking loss is just going to linger for them. They already beat the Redskins, so like, where's the motivation here? They're not going to make the playoffs at 1-7. The Redskins have a chance to win the division, so they have more motivation. And I think this line should be higher than 3. I think the Redskins are better than the Giants. They've had way more time to prepare for this game, and I think they match up pretty well against the Giants, because of the advantage in the trenches that I was talking about. So this kind of reminds me of the Redskins Cowboys game from a couple weeks ago. And I know that like Andy Dalton, Daniel Jones should be better than Andy Dalton, but he's such a turnover machine that I think he's gonna be the quarterback this time to have a couple turnovers. So yeah, I'm right there with you on Washington.
Yeah, and I think one other thing about that game, the Washington only sacked Daniel Jones once in that game. They didn't do a good job of getting pressure, so I think Jack Del Rio is going to really make it his goal with this defense to be aggressive and get after Jones, because if they do that, they're going to be able to limit them on offense. So there's really just not much to like about the Giants, and there's like a lot of reasons to think that Washington can cover here.
Yeah, I remember that. It was, if I recall correctly, I think it was Daniel Jones just thinking and dunking, like just releasing the ball as quickly as possible not to get sacked. And like, I remember the Giants getting to midfield all the time and then just punting. Like that was their whole offense. Like they just scored 6 points offensively. Like it was really nothing, even though he wasn't sacked very often. So if he's bolder and takes more chances, then I think the Redskins are going to have a lot of success sacking him. So